sun don't shine. What's good? What's good? Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and start liking a live. I'll let in guests here shortly. Oops, didn't mean to click that. Whoops. Put your pretty little hands in mine. All right. Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm good. Why aren't you a Christian?
Yeah, I'm not a Christian because of the concept of the Trinity and the contradictions between the Old Testament and the New Testament.
Like what? What are the issues of the Trinity and what are the contradictions?
Yeah, so we can start off with the contradictions. So if you look in the New Testament, in the book of Hebrews, I believe, it says, there is no forgiveness without the shedding of blood. But if you look at the Old Testament, many of the prophets were forgiven without the shedding of blood.
Do you know the difference between forgiveness and atonement?
Sorry?
Do you know the difference between forgiveness and atonement?
No, could you explain?
Okay, the difference is there is supposed to be a atonement, a final atonement, right? And if you read that word, actually, when it says that there is no forgiveness without the shedding of blood, that word is actually going to be atonement in the Greek. Atonement is going to
Can
be
you show me,
something.
please?
Yeah. All right. I think it's okay. Hebrews 9:22. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll show you. The word is going to be aphesis.
So why was it translated as forgiveness?
Because forgiveness and atonement have the same meaning, but when it's used in the Bible as a literary device, then it can mean two different types of forgiveness. So atonement is going to be like a final forgiveness. And again, that word is aphesis in the Greek.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So let me just search up the verse one second.
Go ahead.
Could you show me the lexicon, please?
Yeah. All right, you'll see the word there for forgiveness is aphesis. Just the word that I was talking about, aphesis, right here.
Mm-hmm. And then is that same word used in 2 Samuel 12:13 or no?
This is Greek, so no, because the Old Testament was written in Greek.
So God can forgive without the shedding of blood, but he can't atone without the shedding of blood.
Yeah, the actual final atonement can be done without the shedding of blood.
But isn't he all powerful? He can do all things. Why does he require a blood sacrifice in order to forgive or
because
atone?
that's the only way to repair the human nature is for God himself to take on flesh and then defeat death because of the consequence of sin. So it's dependent on the certain criteria of what we've done is the reason why the atonement needs to occur in this specific way.
Yeah, but even if you look at, like, for example, Isaiah chapter 6, where I believe it's one of the prophets, he puts a coal in his mouth, and he says, see, this has touched your lips, your guilt is taken away and your sin is atoned for. So the same Greek word, I believe, atone, is also
not
used.
the same Greek word because it's literally not. The Old Testament wasn't even written in Greek.
But it still says here atoned.
That's going to be an entirely different word. So what verse is it? I'll show you the Hebrew. What verse is it?
The concept is still the same.
What verse is it?
It's in Isaiah 6, 5-7.
All right. Yeah, this doesn't even say atone for. It literally the word in Greek is purged. It's takupar. That word isn't even word isn't even atone. There's a different word for atone in the Hebrew. I can show you atone in the Hebrew. That's not atone.
Okay, can you show me, please?
Yeah. Yes,
And then
here
one more.
is the here is the actual Hebrew word for atone.
Yeah.
It's a difference, a
But
completely
it does
different
mean
word.
atone. It doesn't matter the language. It still means
Okay,
atone, right?
there's two different words for that. The word that you're using doesn't
Yeah.
translate exactly to atonement. It translates to purge.
Which means what?
Purge means basically to get rid of.
But it's still the same concept.
It's literally not. There's literally a complete difference. If you purge something, it
Yeah,
can come
so
back.
the
If you
prophets who
purge something,
died.
it can come back. If you atone for something, it can't come back.
Yeah, so the prophets who died, or the people who died before Jesus, did Jesus die for their sins as well?
Yes, that's why he literally went to Hades and preached to the realm
But
of the
they
dead.
died before him, though.
That's why he went to the Hades and preached to the realm of the dead. That was the
I
entire
completely
point.
understand that, but I'm saying they died before his.
This is why after he
Before he-
died, he went to preach to the realm of the dead.
Which means what?
It means he went and preached to the people that died before him so they could accept his sacrifice on the cross.
Every single one of them.
Yes, every single one of them.
So the billions of people who existed before him.
Yes.
Could you show me where it says where it says that?
Bro, in 1 Peter, it literally says that he went down and
Okay, let me read
preached to the imprisoned spirits. Yo, I would just, if I were you, bro, I think
So
you need to
you're
go do
really
some more
telling me he
research. I'm
preached
be
to the
honest, bro.
billions of people who died before him?
Yes, this is a basic Christian concept. It's called the heroin of Hades.
Hey, could you show me the verse, please, sir?
Oh my gosh, bro.
Which is it? Can I search it up as well?
It's 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 19.
Okay, 1 Peter chapter, sorry, what?
1 Peter chapter 3, verse 19.
Okay, chapter 3, verse 19. Okay, he also went to proclaim his victory to the spirits kept in prison. By means of the Spirit, Christ went and preached to the spirits in prison. It says prison.
Yes, that's literally speaking about hell.
Sorry?
Yes, that's speaking about hell.
Oh, okay. And then, yeah, the other contradiction was, so you know how in the Old Testament, for example, punishments for sins like adultery, stoning.
Yes.
Why does Jesus abolish it in the New Testament with, the story of the adulterous woman, although he said he came to fulfill the law?
Yes, because the reason he allowed it in the Old Testament was because of specific laws in the land at the time, while in the New Testament, the laws of the land were changing and supposed to be changing and supposed to be different. So his
No, but he
laws, a
said he
lot of
came
them
to
are
fulfill
based
them.
on them. But that's not abolishing the law.
But he said, I did not come to abolish it.
And what did he abolish? What law did he abolish?
He literally abolished the punishment for stoning because they brought a woman who committed adultery.
So
and he literally told them,
if you interject on a specific instance and say don't do it here, does that mean that you are saying that nobody can do it?
So why would he do that then?
No,
Why would
I'm
he
asking
say
a question.
don't
If
stone her?
somebody comes and interjects on a certain point,
yes.
does that mean he abolished the law completely?
Yeah, he did abolish it for that particular act, yeah.
No. Did that mean he abolished the law completely, or did he just abolish it in that instance?
He abolished it in that instance.
Okay, so he didn't abolish the law completely. So there's
So
no
why would he
argument.
abolish it in that instance then?
Because we believe he's all-knowing, so he knows whether or not that what she did was actually true, or if she actually deserved that punishment.
But he didn't say that though.
Bro, that's an argument from silence. What do you mean he didn't
No,
say
but that's
that?
the point. This is my point. You're always adding stuff into the Bible to like suit
No,
your
this is just
narrative.
like basic Christian doctrine that we've
No,
known.
it's not
because
basic. You're just adding stuff in to suit your narrative.
So why did he? Why did he stop it there then? Why did he stop it there then?
Where did he say in the verse?
Wait,
No, 'cause
why did
told
he
them
stop it
whoever
there
hasn't-
then?
Huh?
Why did he stop it there? Why did
No,
he stop
yeah,
at that
I'll
time?
tell you why. I'll tell you why according to the Bible, not according to my own
Please,
opinion.
go ahead.
He
According to
says,
the Bible.
yeah, can I? Yeah. So he says, whoever hasn't sinned, you shall cast the first stone. So he's basically telling them you're not able to stone unless you haven't sinned, which is quite interesting because if he never sinned, he should have threw the first stone.
Yeah. So again, if nobody is sinning, then he should have threw the first stone. Why didn't he throw the first
Exactly.
stone? There's a reason
Why didn't he
why,
throw the
right?
first
The
stone?
reason why because she wasn't
He's
supposed to be
contradicting
stoned, right?
himself.
or because she wasn't actually supposed to be stoned, right? Is it possible
Where
she
did
wasn't
he say,
supposed to be stoned?
Where did he say that though?
Oh my
Show me
gosh.
where he said that.
Where did it say that she should have been stoned?
Oh my God, that's because all of them brought it to her, and he never interjected against it.
Yeah, and how do you know? How do you know she actually did the crime?
Because he never said. I don't think she did do that.
Where did he say she did do that?
I asked you first. Where did it say she
No,
did?
no.
I can't prove a
You want to
negative
play.
claim.
You want to
I
play the
can't
game
prove
of
a
where's
negative
that? No,
claim.
you want to play
Dude,
the
I can't
verbatim
prove a
fallacy.
negative claim.
You want to play the verbatim fallacy.
I can't prove a negative
Neither
claim.
can I, because he never
That's not a
said
negative
that.
claim.
Yes, it is. You literally said, where did he say she didn't do this? That
So
is
you
a
agree?
negative claim.
So, my friend, so you agree that today the punishment for adultery in Christian countries should be stoning?
Oh my gosh, no, because the law was fulfilled.
But yeah, exactly. So he came to fulfill the law. So why is the law not still here today?
Oh, because when you fulfill something, do you continue to do it?
Sorry?
If something is fulfilled, do you continue to do it?
No.
Okay, so then why would we continue to do it if it was fulfilled?
So what's the punishment for adultery?
No, so why would we continue to do it if it was fulfilled?
No, you shouldn't. But according
Okay,
to
great.
yeah, I concede, my friend. But I'm saying according to like, okay, so what should the punishment be then?
For adultery, the punishment should
Yeah.
be whatever the church decides. Typically, it's going to end in divorce, and you need to go
So
to
then-
confession, and you
so the church, the authority.
you need to abstain. You might get excommunicated for a certain period of time.
No, but if Jesus said, "I didn't come to abolish it, I came to fulfill it,"
Bro, we just went over what that means.
so that's it. So after that point, there's no more punishment.
I just said the punishment. You could potentially be excommunicated for a certain period of time.
Oh, okay. All right, and then let's go to the Trinity now. If you still want, do you want to or not? But you seem very like uninterested in speaking to me.
Because I have to like teach you every verse, right? Just go ahead. I figured you would like look this stuff up already, but
Yeah.
just go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. So if you look at so I just feel like the concept of Trinity is three gods.
Is God a description of nature or person?
Sorry.
Is God
Nature,
a description? Okay, great. So how many natures do we believe are in the Trinity?
One.
Okay, so how is there three gods?
Well, I mean, there's one human nature between 8 billion people. You wouldn't say that's
No, there's
one
not.
person.
Me and you don't have an identical. Okay, let's see if me and you have absolute identical nature. Is will a intrinsic property to human nature?
Sorry.
Is will an intrinsic property to human nature?
Having a will, yeah.
Yeah, so will is an intrinsic property. Do me and you have an absolutely identical will?
Of course not.
So do me and you have absolutely
Neither
identical
did Jesus
natures?
and the Father.
Great,
Neither
so
did
great.
Jesus and the
It
Father.
has nothing to do. It's a red herring. Do me and
It
you?
does. It really does.
So do me and you have an absolutely identical nature? Or absolutely identical will?
No, but we still share a common human nature.
No. Wait, are you a nominalist?
It's not completely identical, but it's
Do you
similar.
believe there's one universal human nature and we're all particulars?
It's not identical. It's not exactly the same, but we
So
still
okay,
share
great.
a
So if it's
common
not
human
exactly
nature.
the same, then we don't have the same human nature.
But according to that logic, neither did Jesus and the Father.
No, what? Yes, no. We believe that there's not literally a single property that's different between the divine nature, between the Father and
Really?
Son. Yes, really.
So, but there's certain things which the Father does which Jesus can't do,
Like what?
like begetting another divine person.
That's not an action. That's a relation.
What do you mean?
That's not begetting isn't an action. It's a relation. It's not a power. It's a relation to another person.
Sorry, could you explain that in simpler terms?
Yes, it is a relation. It is the Father's relation to the Son.
Mhm.
The fact that he is the monarch. It is not an action that actually occurs. Begetting isn't a action. He doesn't actually bring something out of him.
Mhm.
It's his relation to him.
But so would
Meaning
you
the
say that
Son
then
eternally comes forth from the monarch, from the fountainhead.
So Jesus is dependent upon the Father for his existence.
No, dependency isn't regarded in terms of being, because if it's one being, it can't be dependent on itself. If that was the case, you would have to say that, for instance, God is dependent on his attributes, which doesn't really make any sense. It's a non sequitur.
No. But if you're saying he in order for Jesus to exist, he needs to be begotten by the Father.
What do you say?
If Jesus requires the Father in order to be begotten, he is dependent upon the Father for his own existence.
No, because dependency can't be regarded within the same being, entrance to the same being.
So you're not really answering my question.
For instance, does God have to be all powerful to exist?
Of course.
Does that mean that Allah, for example, is dependent on his power?
No, because power, we don't say that Allah's attributes are separate from him.
Okay, great. And we don't say the Son is separate from the Father in terms of being.
No, but the power, no, that's not the same, because the power is not a person. A power is a nature.
A power is a nature?
No, power is like,
It's a
the nature of
property.
God.
A power is
Oh,
a
sorry,
property.
yeah.
So the same thing as an
property, yeah.
attribute. So it's not other than.
It's property, but it's not a person. It's not a person.
Great. So it's not other than.
But does Jesus require the Father in order for him to exist?
Bro,
Yes or no?
in the same way that Allah requires power for him to exist.
No, but they always exist with the Father. They always exist with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Okay, and the Son always exists with the Father.
No, but I'm not asking about Allah. I'm asking about the actual. I'm asking about Jesus specifically. He
Yes, and
requires
I'm
the
saying
Father
they're
in
the
order.
same being. So in the same way that Allah needs the property power, is the same way the Son needs the Father.
But the Father doesn't need the Son.
How the frick could
The
you be a
Father does
father?
not
How,
require.
the Father doesn't need the Son. How could you be a father without a son?
The Father does not require
The
a.
Father does not require.
No,
a
sorry, that's
son.
not what I meant. No, what I meant is the Father does not require another person in order for him to exist, whereas the Son does.
The Father doesn't
Because
require another
the Father
person for him to exist.
The Father begets Jesus,
Let's see.
but he doesn't
Let's see.
require someone to
Let's
beget
see.
him.
The Father
So
doesn't require
he can
another
exist
person.
without
Let's
someone else.
see. Let's see if the Father doesn't require another person. Explain to me how the Father could be a father without a son.
But that's not my point.
No. It is your point. You said the Father can exist without the
with
Son.
all due respect, that's not my point.
You said the Father can exist without the Son. How can the Father exist without an offspring?
No, my point. No, my point is not the specific title Father. Let's just call it God.
No, because he is the Father. We know he's the Father unless you believe that God changes and he became the Father, which is another issue.
Can he exist without this? Can he exist without? No, I'm saying Jesus requires somebody. Right, forget the names, forget the titles. Right, just let's talk about the persons.
What?
Right,
If
the
we're
second
forgetting the
person of the
names,
Trinity,
the
the
second
second
person
person
of
of
the
the
Son.
Trinity is dependent upon the first person in order for his own existence, whereas the first person of the Trinity is not dependent upon another person in order for his own existence.
In the way that he cannot exist without the second person, yes, he is. The Father cannot. The first person of the Trinity, the Father.
No, but he's not
cannot
begotten. The
Son.
Father's not begotten.
That does not matter because you can't be a father without a son.
It does, because he's dependent upon
my
this.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Can the Father be a father without a son?
Well, I mean, not in a literal sense, maybe in a metaphorical sense, possibly.
What kind of metaphor would it be for him to be a father?
For example,
without a
if
son?
you look at the Bible, many people are called sons of gods.
So God would be a metaphorical father because, so
God doesn't need to beget. Wait, hold on. Are you telling me? Wait, hold on. Let me ask you this: Does the Father need to beget a son in order for him to have the title Father?
Yes.
Did the Father beget Adam or any of the prophets which are called the sons of God in the Bible?
No, because they came later.
So your points are refuted.
Oh, points refuted? Great. You just buried yourself. So if you say then that he can be called the Father because of that, are you going to say that his title changed? Because Adam came later. Adam was after creation. So does God go from not being the Father before creation to being the Father after creation?
No, because God, there's something called predestination, right? So God knows past, present, and future.
Oh, so he's the Father of his knowledge?
Huh?
So he's the Father of his knowledge. Before creation, who is he the Father of?
Huh?
Before creation, who is he the Father of?
Before creation, who is he the Father of? Or Jesus?
No. You said without Jesus. You're talking about Adam and all that. You said he can be a father. You said he can be a father without Jesus.
Answer my question, sir.
You said he can be. No, you said he can be a father without Jesus. So before,
of course.
Before creation,
sorry, not in a literal sense. Not in a literal sense. That's what. Sorry,
let's say in a metaphorical sense. Let's say in a metaphorical sense.
I'm going to correct. Yes, yes.
Let's say in a metaphorical sense. How can he be a father before creation?
Yeah, let me explain. So he doesn't need to. My point is not particularly that. My point is he doesn't need to beget a divine person in order for him to be called father.
How can he be a father before creation?
He can be a father in a metaphorical sense.
In what way? How?
Jesus, in a metaphorical, that's the same question with the people that are called sons of God in the Bible.
How? Okay. In what sense? In what sense is the metaphor before creation? A metaphor for what?
Okay, for example, I don't know, like the same way that there's metaphors in the New Testament, the Old Testament for the prophets.
I'm asking, what would the metaphor be for?
For example, people who represent God or people who represent
for God being the Father for creation. What's the metaphor for?
Well, it can mean many. Like Jesus could be the servant of God, the servant of the Father.
I said before creation. We're just talking about the Father right now.
If you affirm that Jesus pre-existed, right, that means he doesn't
require... because you said forget Jesus. You said he could be the Father without Jesus. So forget Jesus right now. How could he be the Father before creation?
No, that's not Jesus? My point, sir. You missed. No, I'm saying he doesn't. No. I agree with you. He does require Jesus. No, wait, let me finish.
Okay, you literally have no clue what the frick you're talking about. Now you agree with me after 10 minutes. Now you agree with me. After we just argued for 15 minutes about something, I agree with you. No, you don't. You just don't have any clue what the frick you're talking about. Next. Guys, only request up if you guys are Muslim. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, what's going on?
It doesn't make sense because some Christians say that Jesus is God and others, like you, say he's the Father. No, Jesus is his son. How does that make sense?
How does what make sense? We believe both, that he's God and that he is the
Yes.
Son of the Father.
How does that make sense? Make it
Because
make
his
sense.
son is him being the Son is his relation to the Father, while him being God is a reference to his nature.
So Jesus is both God and his son?
No, he's the Son of the Father and he's God, meaning he has the nature of God.
Then what is the Father?
The Father is God because he has the same nature as the Son. God is a description of nature, not personhood.
You're making no sense.
What doesn't make? Okay, do you know what the difference between nature and person is?
Nature?
Yes. Do you know the
So
difference
now
between
your
nature
God
and
is
person?
nature? So your God is nature?
What?
Yes, I understand the difference
Okay,
between
what's the difference?
nature. Nature is nature.
Y'all ever heard of something called the fallacy of circularity? A nature is a nature. What is a nature? It's a nature. Okay, but what is a nature? It's a nature though. Oh, good God. Light sent me W light, man. W my man, bro. Oh good God. Lord have mercy, bro. Hello?
No,
What's going on?
not much. Explain to me how it makes sense what you're saying.
Muslims, why aren't you Christian?
No, that the Father is the Son, the nature is that, blah blah blah.
We don't believe the Father is the Son.
You basically just said it before.
No, I didn't. I said they have the same nature, but they're not the same person.
How could you be so confused?
What's confusing about that? How am I confused?
The whole concept.
What's confusing about it?
How can God be three persons or what you now believe in?
What do you mean? What's the issue with him being? What's the issue with him being three persons? Like I don't see the issue with it.
God is one.
Yeah, he's one God. How do you know he's not multiple persons though?
Because he says he's one.
One what?
One God.
Okay, we agree he's one God. How do you know he's not multiple persons though?
He's not a person.
God's not a person?
He can't be described. He's almighty, can't be described.
He can't be described, but I thought you just described him as one.
No, he's one.
But
But
isn't
you
that
can't describe him how
you
he
you
is.
just described him as being one?
One is not description. It's
So what is it? So you're not describing when you say God is one, you're not describing him?
Bro, you're confused again. You're confused
Wait, so
again.
when you say God is one, you're not describing God?
That's not a description. I'm
So if it's
saying
not
God
a
is one.
something being one
Description
isn't a
is saying
description.
what
So wait, so if I say
description is saying.
if I'm buying a set of pillows and it says there is one pillow in that, is that not a description of what I'm buying?
No, the description how the pillow.
So we don't even know what a description is anymore. The bar has gotten so low. ALC, thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, my mate. The GOAT. All right, next. This is crazy, bro. One isn't a descriptor anymore. This is crazy. This is crazy. Person's not connecting. Even if the sky is falling.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on?
All right. about that last thing.
How old are you?
So I just turned 18 like a couple months
What's your
ago.
birthday? Or what year were you born?
2004.
2004, and you just turned 18?
19.
Yeah, nah, buddy. Buddy, you don't even know how old he is. Yeah. Yeah, hate to break it to you, bud. Hate to break it to you, bud.
Hey, again, you kicked me out, but explain what the
Oh, yeah,
nature
you
is.
that's low. Yeah, nah. Sometimes I be forgetting. It's on me.
Yo, hello?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, so why are you not a Christian? Well, because, I mean, by Christian, you mean the Eastern Orthodox theology. I think that's what you're referring to. And the reason I'm not a Christian, because the theology that you hold to says the Son is eternal. And I don't think the Bible teaches that the Son is eternal.
Okay, let's see if it teaches it. Let's go to Micah chapter 5. Okay, Micah chapter 5, verse 2. But you, Bethlehem, Ephrath, though you are little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of you shall come forth to me the one to be rulers in Israel, whose going forths are from old, from everlasting. So how are the Messiahs coming forth his beginnings from everlasting?
Yeah, the term everlasting refers to from a long time, not eternity.
Yeah, that literally that
Yeah.
word there literally means eternally. It's never used to just mean a long time. And
No,
not
it
to and
is
not to
means a
men and
long
not to
time.
men wait, wait. And
Okay,
not to
hold
mention
on, dude.
and not to mention you can pair this because it uses the same word. If you translate it from the Hebrew and you go to, for instance, I think it says in verse 17, and we start at verse 16 in Colossians as well. And it says the same thing in verse 17. For by him,
Okay, so now you move to Colossians. Okay,
no,
let's
I'm
go.
showing you the same word being used.
Yeah, and collagen will help you. Go on.
Okay, for by him all things were created in heaven and on earth, whether on earth, visible and invisible, the thrones, the dominions, the principalities, the powers, all things were created through him and for him.
Yeah, is the word all things universal statement or a journal?
Yeah, it's a universal statement for all things.
No, it's not a universal, it's a journal because notice how it doesn't say that he created the earth and the heaven. It says in heaven and on earth. And then it lists out all the things that he created through him,
It's
which is the
all
spiritual
things
realities.
visible. It's
Can I
all
finish?
things. It's all things visible and invisible, right?
Can I finish my statement?
Yeah, it's all things visible and invisible, right?
Yeah, let me explain. Yeah, so it's a journal statement. Notice how it doesn't say the heavens and the earth. It says in heaven and on earth, not the heaven and the earth. And then it lists out all those things which are spiritual realities, which the author lists, which he says throne, dominions, power, and rulership. He doesn't list mountain, trees, or earth, anything like that. So yeah,
Great. Did he
it's
create
just not gonna
all
help you.
things? What does it mean? All things visible and invisible.
Yeah, I just told you spiritual realities.
What spiritual realities?
Yeah, he listed out throne, dominions, rulership.
How is a throne
That-
invisible?
What do you mean? Huh?
How is a throne invisible?
Yeah, the invisible would refer to in heaven. The visible, and yeah, so
Oh,
if you read the
it's
verse,
referring. So he created. It's talking about heaven too, right?
in heaven, not the heaven.
Wait, is heaven itself
Come on, man.
invisible?
No, the heaven in is visible, but to people on earth, to the ones is invisible. They
So is
don't
that
see that.
also? Did he? So how did he also not create heaven? If he created all things, visible and invisible.
Ye- Yeah, all things is journal statement because notice how he doesn't say the heaven and the earth. He says in heaven and on earth.
Oh my gosh, great. In heaven
Yeah,
and on earth. Are
yeah.
those things, everything that is in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, correct?
No, not everything spiritual realities because if you keep
What
reading
spiritual reality
in
isn't
the
visible
same
or
verse,
invisible?
yeah, in the
Do you
same
even
verse
know
it
the question I
says,
just asked?
yeah,
What question did I just
you
ask?
asked me, yeah, you asked me what are the all things, and I told you
That's
it's
not
the
what I
spiritual
asked. You're not
realities.
even listening.
Oh my,
You're literally not even
okay,
listening.
go on.
I
All right,
said,
we repeat your question.
good Lord, I
Go.
said, are everything in heaven and on earth, all things fall under that to be visible and invisible, correct?
Okay, yeah.
You agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so for example, did Yahweh, did he create that? All things in heaven and earth as well?
Yahweh, if you refer to the Father, yeah, the Father created the cosmos of Genesis, i.e., the whole earth, mountains, trees, everything,
So he
and also
created
the
everything
heaven.
in earth as well, right?
Who, Yahweh?
Yeah.
He created everything, yeah.
Okay, and Christ is before all things, right?
No, he's not before all things. The word before in Greek refers to rank, not meaning literal existence.
Oh,
Yeah,
please
that's what.
show me any time the word before means in ranking and not in existence, please.
Okay,
Show
yeah.
me.
Oh, all right. Yeah, then let me take a screenshot. I'm gonna take you to
Great.
the
I'll
Bible
wait.
Hub lexicon.
Great. Just
Yeah.
show me where it's used at. I'll go to it as well. If y'all in here, make sure y'all double tapping that screen while we wait. Thanks for the rose. Appreciate the gift, y'all. Bro, I need my charger low key for my laptop. I ain't gonna lie. Even when the sky goes falling. Thanks for all the gifts, gang. Rest that shopping mall music. Yeah, Holy Hex, welcome to the club. This is nothing new. We'll give him a little bit, man. We'll give him a couple more minutes, all right? He's coming back.
Yeah, so let me put it on. Oh my days. Okay, let me see. I hope it works. Let me see. Yeah, so it's not letting me put it on. Can you go to Bible Hub lexicon
Just show me
and
the verse.
Colossian verse? Yeah, it's going to be the same verse that you quoted,
No.
Colossian.
Did you what question did I just ask you?
Yeah, you asked me that he was before all things, and I told you no, before all things
No,
doesn't
what
mean that
question
you
did
are
I just
before.
ask you to go find?
Yeah, to bring you the lexicon.
Y'all don't
So
even
let me see the
listen, bro.
lexicon.
Y'all don't even listen. I literally said,
What do you
bring me a
mean?
verse where
Dude,
I said, bring me a verse where that word is used to not mean before in an ontological sense.
okay, so you don't want to take the lexicon that says
Bro,
before could refer.
oh wait, does
So
the lexicon
okay,
does the lexicon also mean that it could be time as well?
yeah.
But how do you know which it's referring to?
Yeah, because we take the Bible holistically with the context, and we see that Christ never existed before all things. And when you come to this, where it's talking about that he
He
created
didn't exist
all
before
the
all
spiritual
things?
realities. Hold on, no, he didn't.
So what existed before him besides God?
What do you mean? What existed before Jesus?
Yeah.
Other prophets, other human beings.
Other prophets existed before Jesus, but Jesus created the things that are on earth?
Yeah, that refers to during his ages, which also in Hebrews talks
What?
about it. Yeah.
So he created the things that are in heaven in about 2,000 years ago?
Yeah, during his time, God created the things during his ages,
So the
the ages of
things
the
in
Messiah.
heaven did not
Yeah,
exist before 2,000 years ago.
yeah. Do you have an actual argument?
What?
Do you have an actual argument? I just told you
Yes, you
yes.
have
During his ages, yeah. What do you mean?
yes.
Yeah,
Name me one
yeah. What are you
visible. Name
saying?
me one visible thing that was created by Jesus after the fact, 2,000 years ago. Name me one visible thing.
Name me one visible thing. Yeah, throne.
What visible throne did he create on earth?
No, wait. Say that again. Repeat your question. Yeah, are you saying name me one thing that he created that didn't exist
Name
before him?
name
Is
me
that what you're
one
at?
physical thing
Yeah.
that
So
was on the
okay. So
earth that he
let
didn't
me
create till
explain to you.
after.
Yeah. So rulership during Christ's ages was God created it for him through him during his ages, during the ages of the Messiah. That would include. Hold on.
my
Even
God.
if rulership existed before him, that doesn't mean that during his ages God didn't created rulership and thrones again. Yes, God
I
created
asked for the
rulership,
physical
thrones,
things.
dominion. Yeah, dude, it's throne physical.
What? Okay, what physical throne did he create? Show me. Tell me that one.
Yeah, meaning people who were on the power during his time, during the ages of the
Who?
Messiah.
Who?
What do you mean who? Anyone who had the
Name them.
power, the authority. Yeah, just like the emperors during that time.
The what?
The emperor that Jesus used to pay tax.
The info?
No, the emperor,
I don't know. The
the
emperor. He
king.
created the emperor.
Oh no, oh my days. You told me throne, which refers to power, authority.
So
Did you ask me that or not?
So do you think that Jesus? We're asking what he created physically that was not here prior to him being on Earth.
What do you mean? What are you saying? Did you
I don't know
understand
how
what
to
I?
make it more clear.
Wait, hold on, hold on.
What did he create on Earth that was physical that was not here until after he created it when he came to Earth?
No, you misunderstood the whole thing. Everything existed, but during his time, during the age of the Messiah, God created the during the Messiah's time for the Messiah during the age of the age of the Messiah, thrones, dominions, rulership through him. Are you understanding what I'm saying
Okay,
or not?
what throne did
Because
he? What
even
throne
Hebrews
did he
says the same
create?
thing.
What physical
What do you mean
throne did he
what throne?
create? What
Yeah,
physical throne did he create?
any rulership, any thrones, any authorities was created during the time through the Messiah for the Messiah's
So the
age.
emperor
Do
didn't
you
ha-
understand?
so the emperor didn't have
Oh,
a physical throne before Jesus came.
no. Who says it refers to physical throne?
I
Are you
just
okay
asked
with?
you what physical things did he create?
Yeah, nothing physical.
But it says he did. It says it was physical. What do you mean? It literally says
Yeah,
physical.
yeah, and yeah, it says yeah, just the author says physical and yeah, the visible and
So
invisible.
what physical things?
Where does it say physical?
Visible. Visible. Nothing is visible. That's
Yeah,
not physical. So what
yeah,
physical thing?
yeah. So rulership, dominions, thrones. That's what the verse is.
So what throne?
You
So
don't have
name the
any.
throne he created. That was not
What
there
do you
before
mean
he came.
throne? Throne,
The
yeah,
physical
throne
one.
doesn't refer. Yeah, throne doesn't refer to an actual physical throne.
Oh
So
my, okay, so
thrones,
for the
dominions,
fifth time,
powers.
I'm
Okay,
asking you about no,
hold
answer
on.
the question. I'm
Are
asking
authorities
you
visible?
about
Are
oh my
authorities
god,
visible?
answer the
Are authorities
question.
visible? I know
I'm
you're panicking.
asking
Are
about
authorities
something
visible?
physical.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
so
telling you.
name me
Are
something
authorities
this is
visible?
the last time I
No,
asked.
it never says
Name
physical.
me
It doesn't say
something
physical. It
physical.
says visible.
Okay, name me
It
something
doesn't say
visible. Name
physical.
me
Yeah,
something
you're
visible.
equivocating on the term visible. Yeah,
Name me
authorities.
something visible.
Yeah, yeah, authorities.
Authorities are visible? Show me them right now. Show me an authority.
So when someone is in authority, you can see that this someone is in authority. That's visible for you to see. Authorities, people who are in authorities,
So who did he
not the
create that was an
people
authority?
itself, the
Who did he
authorities.
create that
Huh?
was an authority? Who did he create that was an authority?
What do you mean? Who did he create?
Who did he
Nothing. I
create that
told
was
you
an
the
authority?
authorities.
Yes, who did he?
The
You said,
authorities. Yeah. Oh my dude, are you slow?
bro, you said he created the
This guy.
authorities, the people who had
Yeah,
authority. Name them.
why? Yeah. Why would you think that authorities has to be in attachment with someone? That
Bro,
someone has to exist. That he created someone with it. No authorities. So anyone during the age of the Messiah that existed, authorities alongside God created through Jesus at that time for the age of the Messiah. Are you slow?
bro,
Am I speaking
name me
Chinese?
one. Name me, yes, you must be. Name me one. Name me
Yeah.
one.
Why do I have to name you one
Name me
when you
one
say the
specific
authorities?
authority. Name me one specific authority that he created.
Anyone during the age of the Messiah who were in authorities.
So anyone that was in the
Anyone.
age of the Messiah.
Not the person, but the authorities that they were
So
given.
the
Go
actual
on.
authority that they had, he created.
Yeah,
Okay.
for
Did
the
he?
age of the
Okay.
Messiah.
Fantastic.
You're slow.
So
Dude, you're
fantastic. So
slow.
did he create the power? Did he create the authority of let's say King? Let's see who do we want to do for instance. King Herod.
Yeah, this was the verse 3.
Oh, he did. So King Herod didn't have
Yeah.
authority before he was born.
No, during the age of the Messiah. Meaning during the time of Jesus. When Jesus was born,
So
during his
before
time,
Jesus, did King
he
Herod have
created
authority?
everything. He had authority, but that's
But you said he
not referring
created his
to that he was free.
authority.
Yeah, if you're, I told you anything in the time of Jesus. So King Herod, who was an authority before Jesus, therefore Jesus didn't create that authority. Yes, I made a mistake.
Oh, yeah. So King Herod
Yeah,
didn't create
yeah.
Herod's authority?
No, Jesus didn't create his authority.
So
Creating
King Herod
authority.
didn't have authority during the time of Jesus?
He did have authority.
But you just said he created all authority during the time of Jesus.
Yeah, but that was he existed. He was in authority
You
before
said all
Jesus, so it
authority at
wouldn't
the
refer
time
to
of
that.
Jesus, he created it.
Yeah, all authorities, meaning in the age of the Messiah, when the Messiah was born, everything, any authorities were created through the Messiah.
Okay,
Anything in
King
the time
Herod
of
was an
Jesus.
authority.
So hold on,
King
yeah,
Herod
let me
was an
explain.
authority during the
Yeah,
Messiah.
yeah, let me explain. So King Herod being an authority that was before Jesus, he was already an authority, so that would be excluded.
It was
I don't
also
know.
during the
Why?
time, right?
What do you mean during? Yeah, it was during the time, but he was already in authority, so it would be excluded.
Bro, but you said everything
You're
during the
supposed to
time. During the
do you
time.
have an actual argument? Do you have an actual argument?
No,
Because
I'm showing you that this is a horrible argument. You already had to backtrack now
no,
because you said everything.
no, it's not
So
a
can you
horrible
prove to me that
argument.
he? So
Yes,
can you
yeah.
prove to me
Oh
that
my
he?
days.
Can you prove to me that he gave King Herod authority?
That never, dude. I just told you that he didn't create the authority of King Herod because
Okay,
King Herod
okay.
was already.
So
Hold on. Let me
let's do
explain.
Pontius Pilate.
Can I speak now?
Let's do
Can I
Pontius
speak now?
Pilate.
Can I speak
Let's
now?
do Pontius
Oh
Pilate.
my
No, we'll
days.
forget that. Let's do Pontius Pilate.
Oh my.
How did he create Pontius Pilate's
Okay.
authority? Can you give me evidence of that?
What do you mean? What are you saying? Like physically, that Jesus
In
when
any way that
only
he
create
gave
your
the authority
authority?
to Pontius Pilate, meaning to be
Yeah,
the
yeah,
actual ruler.
yeah. Meaning God created the authority for Pilate
Can you
during the
give me evidence of
Messiah's
that?
days. Hold on. Let me finish. If I'm gonna explain it to you, then let me explain.
Yeah, just make sure you give me evidence that he created it too. So go ahead.
I'm gonna give you evidence. Great. So authorities, for example, as you mentioned, who existed, if he was in authority, if he got into authority during the time of Jesus, so yes, God created his authority through Jesus in his through Jesus in the Messiah's time. So God already planned that this authority, he will go to authority through the Messiah, and he created it through the Messiah's age.
No, I'm
So
waiting for the
yes,
evidence.
so
I'm waiting for the evidence of this.
yeah, the evidence is Colossians, the words in Colossians that
Bro,
God
if you're
created
gonna use
authority.
the verse in Colossians, you're literally gonna have to say angels were also created by Jesus. That doesn't work for you.
What was also created through Jesus?
You're gonna have to also say angels were created through Jesus too.
What do you mean angels? No.
Are angels in heaven?
Where are you getting that? Yes, angels are in heaven.
Did he create everything in heaven?
No, he didn't create everything in heaven. That's a journal statement. We just went over that.
He created all things that are in heaven.
Yeah, all things is a journal statement. We
A
know he
journal
didn't create
statement
the
for what
heaven.
in heaven?
Hold on. Oh, yeah, so when I say it's not a universal statement, it's a journal statement, i.e., referring to when the verse says he created all things in heaven. Notice how it doesn't say it's the heaven. So all things in heaven would be a journal statement. We know angels existed before Jesus. We know the Bible doesn't teach Jesus was eternal. Angels existed before Jesus.
So what did he
Everything
create in
existed.
heaven?
Hold on. Yeah, so he created throne, dominions, authorities in
He
heaven.
created thrones? He created God's throne?
No, not physical throne. Why are you
So
equivocating
what throne? What
on the
throne did he
term
create?
throne?
What throne did he
Yeah,
create?
yeah. Anything, any throne, any authorities in heaven.
Like what? Name them. Name one. Name a single one.
What do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean? Name single one?
Name a
Like a
single throne
physical
authority
throne?
in heaven. No, just name any
A
single
physical
throne
throne?
authority in heaven.
Yeah. We don't know. The verse says anything in heaven, and then lists it out:
Name a
throne,
single
dominions, and
throne in heaven.
authorities.
Name a single throne in
Yeah.
heaven and who it
Oh,
belongs to.
okay. You're equivocating again. So
No, I
the
didn't say it
verse
has to be
says,
physical. I didn't say it has
can
to
I?
be physical.
Okay, can I finish my answer?
Yeah, but stop strawmanning me. I didn't say
Yeah.
physical.
I'm not. I know you're cooked. So let
So
me
give me
respond.
a throne that he created in heaven.
Okay. Can I speak now?
As long as you give me
Okay.
a throne he created in heaven.
Yeah. I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
explain. So when the verse says all thing in heavens, i.e., spiritual realities, throne, dominions, authorities. So anything in heaven that is throne, dominions, authorities were created through Jesus for the ages of the Messiah.
And this is
So
why I
we
had
don't
to
know
cut
what
him
it.
off.
Hold
Bro,
on.
answer the question.
Yeah, I am.
Stop.
I
No,
am.
stop running. Answer it right now. What throne?
I
No,
am. Right.
no.
I am.
Answer it right now.
We
What
don't.
throne did he create?
We don't know because the verse doesn't say it.
Oh, so we don't know. Oh, so you're just making it up. And
It-
what throne is
No,
it?
we're not.
Is there
Wait. Hold on.
Is there more than one throne in
Just
heaven?
hold on. No. Dude. Just because there's the lack of epistemic knowledge, that doesn't mean it
Is there
doesn't
wait, how
exist.
many
So
thrones are in
hold
heaven?
on.
How many thrones does the
This
Bible
guy's
say are
so
in heaven?
slow.
Wait, how many thrones does the
Huh?
Bible say is in heaven?
A physical throne?
Thrones, just period.
Yeah, I don't know how many. I don't know
You
from the
don't know
top
how
of my
many
head.
thrones there are in heaven?
No.
There's one throne for God. Revelation
Okay,
4
great.
2. There's one throne for God.
Okay, so if there's one throne, then that would exclude throne.
Oh, so then God created God's throne in heaven. Or Jesus created God's
God
throne.
created his throne.
Jesus
No,
created God's throne in heaven.
no, no, because God's throne already existed
You
before
just
Jesus.
said he
If you refer
created.
to,
You just said he created thrones
what
in
do you mean?
heaven.
Yes, he created thrones, dominions, authorities, anything that was in heaven that falls under whether authorities, thrones, anything that
So
is in
God's
heaven.
throne.
Hold on. No, because God's throne already existed. We see in the Old Testament.
Bro, he's so slow. Oh my gosh. Yes, he created all thrones, principalities, authorities in heaven. Oh, but not that one. Yes, he created all authorities on earth, but not that one, not King Herod. Bro, how many times you gonna switch your opinion? Every 5 seconds, bro. Oh, but wait, never mind. Not that though. He created all things, but not that though. But not that though. Oh my gosh, that boy is dumber than a box of rocks. Oh my gosh. This is bad. I'm gonna be honest. This is bad. This is what happens when you become Muslim, guys, by the way. Hello? Hello?
Shouldn't be.
Okay, I don't know what the frick's going on. My hair looks blue because I have like a that's actually it is blue. I have a blue light right there, bro. Why the frick is my like face like this, bro?
But two big dicks and they go on my butt.
That's Muslims right there for you guys. Bro, what the frick? Even when the sky starts falling. Hello?
How do you do, friend? How are you?
I'm good. What's going on?
That's good, man. So to your question, why Muslims are not Christians yet? Do you have a Bible by you by any chance?
Yeah.
Okay, would you please open it to Exodus 33:20?
Okay. But he said, "You
Would you
cannot
read
see
it?
my face, for no man shall see me and live." What about it?
Okay. I don't know. You tell me. You break it down to me. How would you describe that and break that down?
Yeah, because when God is in the spirit, no one can see him. No one can see his face in the spirit.
But that's not what it says. It doesn't say when I'm in the spirit. See, we cannot manipulate with words.
What's his
It doesn't
face?
say.
Wait. Is his face in the spirit or physical? It's God's face, spirit, or physical?
Yeah, I'm not gonna go into tick for talk and
Bro, I'm asking
I'm
a
not gonna
basic
go
question.
into.
Is his face spiritual or
I'm
physical?
not gonna. Just one sec. Let me finish.
Okay,
We
if you're
cannot
not
talk.
gonna, then I'm moving on. Next, I'm not wasting my time up here with folks. Please only request if you guys are Muslim. I ain't even gonna sit here and argue if you not even gonna answer the first question. Yeah, bro said tick for talk. No, that was funny. Bro said I ain't finna go tick for talk. That's crazy. What's I about to do? All right. This person got a cross. Oh, I meant to read this. Pneumonia Logos, appreciate the follow, super chat. Nick, stop being integrat. Everyone smack that like button. If you know, you know. Integrat. Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on?
I just want to tell you to keep cooking.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, take care. So put your pretty little hands in mine, even if the sky starts falling. Needed that. Keep cooking. Oh boy. Sometimes I don't know, man. It's like the world's getting worse and worse in their IQ, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Hello?
Yo. Hello.
Yeah, what's going on?
Good. I have a question.
Okay.
Can you tell me how old Rebecca was?
It doesn't say her age.
What do you mean? She was literally a minor.
Show me. Prove it.
It is in your book.
Show me.
I didn't need to show you. Like, it is literally in your book.
Show me where it is in my book, and I'll say you're right.
Chapter 3.
Chapter 3 of what?
Chapter 3, Jesus died on his cross.
What? The frick are you talking about?
It's in the new update, bro.
Is it in the new update that Aisha was 6 too? Or is that in the...
Bro, it's in the new update. Check the...
It's crazy. It's a crazy cope to say Rebecca was 3 when they have no evidence. They just say that because they don't have no defense for Aisha being 6. They don't got no defense for it. Not a single defense. Boy, I'd be sick too if I had to freaking... Yo, I would be sick too if I had to defend Aisha. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, Muhammad. Sick to my stomach. Good Lord. Whew. Even when the sun don't shine. Justice for Aisha. Amen. Amen. Said, matter of fact, it is in y'all book though. About Aisha, it is in y'all book. Couldn't be in ours though. We don't do that stuff over this way. Hello.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm good. What's going
I'm
on?
not Muslim, but I was just wondering to ask you, why are you Protestant?
Who said I was Protestant?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it said from your bio that you were Protestant.
But don't say that.
Oh, my fault.
All right. Bruh, spreading misinformation. For real.
Hello.
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 Yeah, what's going on?
This keeps coming across my For You page. So I just had some questions. Like, is this like for all Christianity, like, or is it just Muslims, or like what?
Muslims. Why aren't you Christian? That's what I'm talking to today. By the way, you got a crazy
Muslims?
you got a crazy echo, by the way, unfortunately. So yeah, you probably gonna have to get that fixed, I fear. Whatnot. Hello?
Hello, what's up?
You a kid, bro. Get off my dang live. The dog. For a super chat, I forgot to get that new Bible update on the PlayStation. Dang, man. You not reading, you not getting Rebecca's age then, bro. It's crazy. That's crazy. Bro, I don't even remember if I let this person up. Did I be forgetting sometimes who I let up, bro. I let so many people up, I forget. Hello? Hello? I can't hear it off screen. Okay, next. I ain't gonna lie, I had my finger on that you need to add 18 plus to the panel. I shouldn't have to add that. It's just TikTok rules. You're not even allowed. Like, I don't even think you're supposed to have an account on TikTok if you're not 18. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Pancakes or waffles? Low key, I'll be switching up. Sometimes I like pancakes better. Sometimes I like waffles better. Hello?
You fucking nigger.
Oh, good God. Have mercy. Some up with all the other, bro. Hello?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Not too much, mate. Just thought I'll just exchange thoughts, mate, and not really a debate. Just maybe we can exchange some thoughts. You're a Christian?
Yes.
So what are your thoughts? Do you concede that
Are you in like
Jesus
a zoo
was
or something?
born? No, you can't hear me at all.
Are you in a zoo?
I'm around a few birds. Sorry, dude.
All right, go ahead.
Um, so Jesus was born in a Greco-Roman world. He was born in a world around Galilee where there was 10 Greek cities. And the influence of that area was a Hellenistic world. It was a Greco-Roman world. So these ideas of a son of God were consistent with ancient Greek traditions. They had plenty of sons of gods: Hercules, Theseus, Perseus, Asclepius, Dionysus. I mean, even historical figures like Alexander the Great, they were also known as son of gods, who were also given motifs that were born from a god and a mortal woman. The idea of achieving apotheosis and being a savior is also current, and all these titles are current within a Greco-Roman world. So what are your thoughts about Christianity itself being influenced and being more or less a Hellenistic religion?
You would have to prove it was influenced by those.
Yeah, so when we look at for example, Christian philosophy, we know, everybody knows that Aristotelian Platonic influence within the Christian theological concepts, such as the Logos and many other things that were formed and formulated. So
Nobody
philosophy,
thought the Logos was a person before Christianity.
correct, that's a Christian innovation, but the idea about this Logos being God and being eminent in eternal past is something that was, and also being called reason and intellect, is something that was well known in Greek philosophy and
Yeah,
Greek
it was
tradition.
known before that too. In the old, it was always in the Old Testament before Aristotle and Plato.
But again, the whole Christian church fathers, they all came out of a Platonic tradition, so they are definitely being borrowed by
Church
even
fathers
Philo
were
of Alexandria.
not Platonic, bro.
So you don't concede that Greek philosophy has played a role in Christian tradition and Christian theology at all?
We believe that they can use the philosophy and logic of it, but as far as Christian theology goes, no, it has nothing to do with it.
Okay, well, fair enough. Christian theology, but yes, they've used philosophical concepts to try to explain Christian theology, but that's what I was saying. But then again, let's go to the rituals and practices. Some of the rituals that we see in Christianity for the idea of drinking the blood of your God so that God can indwell within you, that whole idea, we can actually see it in the cult of Dionysus in his mystery religion, where his initiates would drink the blood of Dionysus, and by drinking the blood of Dionysus, they would, the grape of Dionysus, Dionysus would dwell within them and lay down their burden and give them some type of salvation. These were known as mystery religions and salvation cults.
What
So
does
it
have to
seems
do
when
with
Jesus,
anything, bro? Because you're just saying that correlation doesn't even equal causation. So how are you saying that they got that from them?
yeah, so the reason why I'm saying that is because in the Old Testament, you don't see the idea of theophagia or the Eucharistia, the Eucharist, the idea where you drink the blood of your God. In the Old Testament, all that kind of stuff is forbidden. But in the
It was
ancient Greek
always
world,
prophesied in the Old Testament. The Eucharist was prophesied in the Old Testament.
okay, so what you need to know, what you need to show me now is those references. You
What?
need to show me the idea. I would like you to show me the idea of drinking the blood of your God within the Old Testament. Show me that idea.
Yeah, sure.
Not a vague reference.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you what's called. Yeah, I'm gonna show you what's called a foreshadowing of what was to come about it. All right, let's go
Is it
to.
Melchizedek you're going to give me? Are you going to give me exit? Like I've heard all these rebuttals. I'm just interested to which one you're thinking of.
I'm sure you have. All right. All right. So the very first. I mean, we'll just go to the very first thing because it's technically is going to be the very literally the very first thing in the
Again,
Bible.
I hope you show me the
would be
specific.
okay. So the tree. Okay, so the tree of knowledge of good and evil, right? When they eat the fruit off the tree in the New Testament, who is the tree? Who is the tree of life in the New Testament?
There are various interpretations. Actually, if you want
There's
to give
not.
me what
Show me one. Show me one person that has another interpretation.
So if you look at the Talmudic tradition, you would definitely see a complete contradiction to what you're about to tell me.
Okay, show me.
The Jews
Show
don't
me.
believe.
Who is the tree of life? In Talmudic tradition, who's the tree of life?
I'm asking you who
no,
it is.
You're
Is
the
it
one that
Jesus?
said it was different. So show me who is who in the
I'm
Talmudic
asking
tradition.
you.
No, you just bring up the Talmud. You said if you look at the Talmud, it will be completely different. So in the Talmud,
Yes.
who is the tree of life?
I know in the Talmudic tradition about the tree of life, it's actually often debated. That's all I know about it. And so what you're
What
going to tell
you
me...
so you don't have no clue. So don't bring up the Talmud because you have no clue what it talks about.
Okay.
So can you give me any other
No problem.
interpretation that you actually know where the tree of life is someone other than God or the Messiah?
No, why don't you give me your interpretation?
I already said it's Jesus. It's the Messiah.
Okay. So where's the idea of drinking the blood of your God, the Eucharist, in what you just
Yeah,
told me right
because
now?
it's when they ate from that tree, it's the same thing as eating from Christ.
Okay, so the 220 people that you got listening now, right now, you just showed me a tree of life and eating apples. And what I showed you in the Dionysian cult of the mysteries of the Greek religion at the time of Jesus Christ was the actual idea of ingesting your God by drinking the blood, the grape of the vine, okay, which is very similar to what Jesus is doing. So right now, I want the people to understand and comment, what is more similar? Is it the tree of life and the apple symbolism, or is it the actual practice and physical
The
practice that
tree
I'm
of life
showing you?
was before that, is the point.
Okay, no, the first references that we have of the tree of life in the actual Old Testament, my dear friend, is in 276 BC.
Bro, that's just
Before that, we
because
don't
that's
have.
that's the latest manuscript because they're written on papyrus.
So as a minimalist tradition, I can only succeed your understanding from the 270s BC. The Greek traditions go back
Okay,
to
fantastic, great,
Yeah.
fantastic. Now show me the actual written down, the actual written down thing that we have before 230 of drinking the blood of Dionysus. Please go ahead and show me this. The manuscripts that we still have today. Go ahead.
Okay, so
Because I can't
the
take
text of-
anything before that. Before you show me the earliest manuscript. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So guys, just to everyone know, I want everyone to look up the back guy.
Bro, just just give me the manuscript, bro. Stop talking to the comments. Give me the manuscript where it talks about it.
You would have to look up from Euripides, the back guy, and find the dating. I think it's
Where
dated
is
to
it?
400 BC. Euripides, the back guy.
The bat guy?
Yeah.
Okay, the bat guy. Let's
BACH.
see. Oldest manuscript. Let's see what the oldest manuscript is. Let's see. We have one from, let's see. We have a manuscript of a manuscript from the 1900s. Let's see.
Dude, we know about the back guy because other
Yeah, I don't
philosophers
see anything.
actually...
I don't see any manuscript before even Christ's time.
So are you trying to say that, okay, because you haven't right now in the first 2 seconds discovered a text that...
6th century is the earliest one. I found it. 6th century. And it was found in Egypt. On the ShoyinCollection.com. So I can't take anything before. I can't take anything before 500. Sorry. So they didn't act. So actually, they copied Jesus. Hate to break it to you.
Okay, look, there's philosophers and other historians that talk about the back guy. This is why we know the back guy.
Show me the manuscript before Christ.
Okay, well, what I would have to do now is go get all my sources to actually go and determine this. But just take my
go get all your sources and come back. Because if you're gonna tell me, oh well, I don't want to use this because the oldest manuscript is 250 BC. Well, then guess what? I need your manuscript before Christ's time as well. Bro, I need to go get my freaking Mac charger, bro. I'm Vegeta. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I love Jesus. So do I, man. I appreciate that. I'll be all right. I'll be all right. All right, it's won't be a super long live tonight, guys. So I'm only gonna take up a few more requests. Even when the sun don't shine. You willing to debate Vienna on Discord Islam server? I already debated him on here like a week ago. What are you talking about? The frick am I gonna go to some random Discord to do that from? The person's not connecting. Rematch? But he got cooked so bad he wanted a rematch? That's crazy. Couldn't be me. I knew someone was gonna say I said Vegeta wrong. How the freak you say it? I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. L rhetoric? It wasn't rhetoric. So the fact that you thought it was rhetoric just shows your mind is deficient. It's tough. It's a tough scene. Wait, bro, I'm trying. How the frick these comments just go so fast? Heather, yeah, you had a background echo, so you're gonna have to like fix your mic probably or something. That was the reason why I had to kick you off. Don't force your religion on us when now here you are doing exactly that. Wow, I didn't know me asking people why they aren't Christian is me forcing religion. That's crazy. I didn't know that. I was unaware. So thank you for letting me know that. That's really, big time to let me know that, gang. It's big time. Hello.
Hola.
What's going on?
Hola.
Konnichiwa. What's good? Freaky go, bro. Aisha's GOAT with the $13.99 super chat. Bruh. I don't even know if I can read that, bro. But y'all see it here. I don't even know if I can read that. Aisha's GOAT. But y'all see it on the screen if y'all on YouTube. I got faith in you and I. Bro, that song stuck in my head. I listened to it one time. Dang. Why aren't you Christian, host? I was unaware that I'm not Christian. Thank you for the gift. I was unaware that I'm not Christian. I'm glad you let me know because that could have been that could have been bad. Hey, that could have been bad if you wouldn't have told me. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine. That could have been bad. Sitting here observing, I'll probably observe a little bit longer if I was you then. If you don't think I'm Christian. Probably maybe I should start. We're gonna drop an album. Soon, alhamdulillah. Can I come up? Are you Muslim? He's Muslim? Okay. Hello.
How are you, man?
I'm good. What's going on?
I'm good.
Okay, why aren't you Christian?
Because I don't believe in three gods.
Okay, is God a description of nature or person?
Is God what?
A description of nature or person?
A description of nature or
person, yeah.
Nature? I'm not sure.
Okay, so how many natures do we say the Trinity is?
One nature is God.
Okay, so God is a description of nature, and we say there's one nature. So then how many gods are there in the Trinity?
Well, you believe there are three persons.
Great, we're not asking about person though, because we already said God. But yeah, you already said God is a description of nature. So God's a description of nature, and you said there's one nature. So how many gods are there? I didn't ask how many persons are. I said how many gods are there?
God is one.
So according to the Trinity, is one God.
No, because you have 3 distinct persons.
Did I ask how many persons there were? Or did I ask how many gods there were?
You have 3 gods.
What's the difference between person and
Because
nature?
what's the difference?
I know you don't know, bro. I know you don't know. This video wanted to come up for real? This can't be. This can't be. Hello.
Hello, man. How are you?
I'm good. What's going on?
Good, good. You're a Christian, like a Catholic?
I'm Orthodox.
Oh, Orthodox. Okay, that's cool. So you don't believe in the papacy and
No.
things of that nature?
No.
Okay. For me, the main reason why I couldn't become Christian, I do respect Christians, and I think they're like our closest brothers. But it's just the overall contradictions in the Bible and like the mistranslations. For me, it wouldn't be deemed a credible text. It was at one point. The Bible was the Word of God, but it was not preserved correctly and is no longer the Word of God. It was essentially altered.
What mistranslations? Like from one language to another?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, does the Quran have mistranslations from one language to another?
No, because it's in one
No?
language, Arabic.
So Quran doesn't
Throughout
have
all-
mistranslations from one language to another.
No, because for it to be the Quran, it would have to be in Arabic. Anything that is
So this isn't the Quran.
No, it is not the Quran. It's a translation of the Quran.
So if you don't speak Arabic, you've never read the Quran.
Essentially, yes, because some words, the
Dang.
true meaning. Of course.
So
the
God
true
God
meaning-
only wants one group of people to read his book. Forget
No,
everyone
of
else.
course not. Of course not. That's not how it works. But when you pray, you can only pray in Arabic, the true word of the
So,
true language of Islam.
God can only speak
However,
Arabic.
God speaks all languages.
God
but
can speak
his-
all languages. Why can't you pray to him in English?
Because that's not the way we pray. That's not the way Jesus prayed. That's not the way our prophets prayed. However,
Right, Jesus
God
prayed in
is the-
Greek.
No, he did not pray in Greek. He prayed in Aramaic.
Oh, that's not Arabic though. So wait. So Jesus never really prayed.
He prayed. I'll explain to you the distinction. That's a good point you bring up. Jesus was only Muslim by definition. He came before the establishment of Islam as a religion.
Mm.
He was Muslim by definition, and he followed the correct book at the time.
So before
We
the
believe
Quran,
that
can you speak to God in non-Arabic?
Yes, because Islam was not, like in definition today, established as the religion today.
So why did God
Christians,
change
for
it?
us, he revealed a new revelation that was correct. So
Was the
like
previous
for us,
revelation not correct?
it was correct, of course, but it was altered.
Can you prove it
And
was altered?
the Bible was written 400 years after the death of Jesus, peace be upon him.
So can you prove it was altered?
Christian, of course I can prove. It's been
Go ahead.
translated from Aramaic to Greek to Latin
It was
to
never
English.
written in Aramaic. So no, it wasn't translated in Aramaic to Greek to English. It was written in Greek. The New Testament was written in Greek. So can you show me that that's been altered?
Yes. Let's establish something here real quick. Is there a perfect parallel between two languages? Or is there a difference between each language?
Nope. That's
As
why I
in
would
the
go back
weight-
to the Greek if you're looking at the New Testament.
So then how can people read the Bible in English? It's not the same Bible. The words don't have the same weight. They don't have the same meaning, of course. We know like there's expressions in certain languages that don't translate. Hence why the Quran can only be read in Arabic for the contextual weight of the word. Arabic is a much more complex language than English. Hence why you cannot translate a holy text from one language to another.
Okay,
without
now can you show
losing
me the
some of that
actual
weight.
Greek itself was changed?
Of course. Well, when you translate from one language to another, you change the meaning
No,
essentially.
I'm asking, can you
As
show
in-
me the Greek itself has been corrupted?
What do you mean that it's been corrupted? Well, it's been written 400 years after the death of Jesus. Can we agree on that or no? The New Testament.
That's literally not true.
It's not true.
So nothing was written in the New
Let's-
Testament before 400 years after?
Let's write this down. Let's look this up real quick.
Wait. So nothing in the New Testament was written until 400 years later?
No, not the entire because part of the New Testament
Do me a
is the
favor
word of
and look
God.
up. Do me a favor. Let's just look up the Gospels, the core of the New Testament. Look up when was the New Testament written. Please go ahead. Tell me what it says.
The
By the way,
the
you said
Gospels
400
was
years
not
later, by the way.
400. I didn't say the entirety of the Bible.
Which part of the
I did not
Bible?
say the
Wait,
entirety.
which part of the Bible was written 400 years later? Give me a single book.
During the Council of Nicaea,
No,
the
give me a
current
single
form.
book.
It's not a like hundreds of Gospels and letters were
What?
excluded or declared
Bro,
later.
give me a single book in the Bible that was written 400 years later.
What do you mean a book in the Bible? The Bible
You
is
said
the
the
book.
Bible
It's
was written 400 years later. Give me a single book, a single chapter, a single section that was written 400
parts
years
of
later.
the Bible during the Council of Nicaea in the 4th century. Like the Trinity. Is the Trinity in your book? Was it established right during the time of Jesus?
Bro, the
peace be
word
upon him?
Trinity wasn't in the Bible to begin with. It's not in the Bible now. It wasn't changed or altered.
So
what are you
okay,
talking?
so
Bro,
where did
you said the Bible was written 400 years after. I'm just asking, can you name me a single chapter in the Bible that was written 400 years after?
Of course, I got you.
Okay, we'll wait.
Let's go ahead and look. Okay, here we go. The Coma Johannium, John 5:7
You
through
don't even know
5:8.
what that is. Yes, it's First John, by the way, and I can actually show you quotations from church fathers from literally the
It does
2nd
not-
and 3rd century.
Perfect. It does not exist in the earliest Greek manuscripts. It was added around the 4th
Yeah,
century.
I can show you. No, I can show you it existed. I can show you church fathers who literally quote it.
Okay.
Like
yeah,
I can quite literally give you citations.
We're going through factual context here.
Yeah, so I can give you factual quotation that church fathers literally quoted it.
So it was not during the council's decision in the Council of Nicaea.
What was the Council of Nicaea about?
I'm not Christian, but I do
So
know
you
that's
have
where
no
the
clue.
Trinity came about. No, I know, like, through a nutshell. Of course, I'm not Christian; it's not my religion. But I know that's where the Trinity was agreed upon.
So let's not talk about the Council of Nicaea if you have no clue what the Council of Nicaea was about.
Okay, when did the Trinity? When was it agreed upon by many of the Christian scholars?
It was
not the
already
Council of
there was no Christian church father that didn't agree with the Trinity. So that's not, I don't know what you mean agreed upon. It was
Then
already
what
agreed
was the
upon.
Council of Nicaea about?
The Council of Nicaea was about refuting the heresy of Arianism. But if you would have studied for 5 minutes, you would have known this.
So the Trinity was not established during the first Council of Nicaea.
No, the council didn't even talk about the Trinity. This is how I know
So
you
it
haven't
didn't
done
talk about
basic
the
research.
doctrine of the. I thought the doctrine of the Trinity was officially established.
I know you
in the
thought
first
that.
council.
That's because you haven't done research.
I just looked it up and it just confirmed it was written.
Please give me the single canon of a council that talks about the Trinity. A single one.
Hold on, search it up right now on Google.
I can show you all the I can show you all the canons of the council. I think there's 21. I can show you every single canon of the
You have
Council
Christians
of Nicaea.
in the chat saying it was established during that time.
No, they're not, bro. Okay.
Search it up. It's factual.
So we can show you every single canon of the Council of Nicaea. Every single canon. Okay, there is. Let's go down and see how many canons there are. Let's see. 20. Which canon talks about the Trinity? If you can find me a single canon that talks about the Trinity, I would admit you're right now. And by the way, this website is New Advent. You can look it up yourself. So find me a single canon that talks about the Trinity.
The point I'm arguing is look it up on Google. When was the doctrine of the Trinity?
What's the source you're using that you got that off of?
Just go ahead and search it up.
But
for me,
what
okay?
source? What source just said that?
Listen,
what source? No, wait. What source says that? No, what source are you looking at right now? Don't re-look it up. What source?
Let me find you a good source.
No. What source were you just looking at?
It's because you're gonna pick and choose with the sources.
No, what
so I'm gonna find
what
one.
source were you just looking at?
Britannica.com.
Britannica.com doesn't. Oh, let's go to Britannica, please. Britannica. Let's see. Britannica says it was that the Trinity was created in 325.
The Trinity doctrine was officially established.
Okay, let's go to Britannica. I'm going to Britannica right now. What's the title of the Britannica website?
March 26, 2025.
No, I said, what's the title?
Okay, let me give you the. It's literally / First Council of Nicaea -325.
Okay. All right, let's go to it, guys. Okay, guys. He said that the Trinity doctrine. Okay, let's go to it, guys. First Council of Nicaea. This is it, right?
Yep, that's the one.
Okay, now show me which part does it say it created the Trinity, the doctrine of the Trinity. It solidified it. Anything about it, please? Where?
The council of Nicaea, unbaptized, statement of faith is until the early 20th century, the Holy Spirit. Additional discoveries.
Bro, just tell me where you just read it from. You just read it on the website. Where's it at?
I'm using a website that sources.
Oh, what website? And what website is that?
ChatGPT.
Yeah, I love it, bro. I love it here. Yo, nah, this is great. It's a great day. It is a great day to be a Christian, guys. It is a great day to be a Christian. It is. Can we just get like a round of applause? Can we just get a round of applause for real? Come on. Can we really just get a round of applause, bro? This is crazy. Bro said it's on Briticana. Go on Briticana. Oh, well, actually, now we get the truth. Everyone in the live, all 240 people, we all knew he got it from ChatGPT. We all knew he got it from there. I guess we just had to prove that he's a liar. He didn't really get it on Briticana, bruh. Hey, what do they say without lies? Without lies, Islam dies. Come on now, man. It's crazy out here, man.
Yo.
Yeah, what's going on?
What's good, bro?
What you got? Why aren't you a Christian?
Huh?
Why aren't you a Christian?
How you doing, bro?
I'm good. Why aren't you a Christian?
So I'm not a Christian because I'm a Muslim.
Wow, thanks. I don't got the time. I don't got the time tonight, bro. I'm be honest. I do not got the time tonight.
Hello?
Yeah, what's going on?
What's going on with you?
Nothing much. What you got?
Muslims, why aren't you Christian?
Yeah.
I would say because of how society played out Christianity with the, with the submitment of this white so-called Jesus, but we believe in Jesus. I believe in Jesus wholeheartedly. And there's nothing wrong with being a Christian. I mean, to me, I told a Christian, I asked somebody, what is a Christian? And someone told me, is someone who's Christ-like. Was he correct or was he incorrect?
Kind of. It's someone who follows Christ.
Okay, so, and when he said Christ-like, I was like, well, that's good because Christ is a beautiful person. And Christ, one thing Christ never did was thank himself. He always reached to a higher being. Jesus never told anyone to thank him. So if you are a Christian and you're being Christ-like, I love that because you're making sure that you thank no one but the Creator.
Jesus said he was the creator. He literally said that he was the first and
No,
the
he
last.
did. Okay, where did he say that at?
In Revelation, where he said, "I am the first and the last, the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end."
Okay, let me ask you a couple of questions. So are you saying Jesus is? I mean, hold on. Wait a minute. Are you saying Jesus is God?
Yes.
Okay. Didn't somewhere in the Bible where they said Jesus was confused or something or bothered, and he went into the mountains to pray to God?
What? Confused or bothered? No. What?
Yes, it was some part in the Bible where Jesus went to the mountains to pray to God.
Are you talking about when he went into the desert for 40 days and 40 nights?
No. I wish Abdul Kareem was here because he's so good with the Bible. You can Google it. It's somewhere in the Bible where Jesus went to the mountains to pray to God.
I don't even know which verse you talking about, bro.
Alexa, volume 10. Alexa, what verse in the Bible where Jesus went to the mountains to pray to God?
From KingJamesBibleOnline.org. Matthew 14:23. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up into a mountain apart to pray. And when the evening was come, he was there alone.
All right, thank you. So as you look it up,
Matthew what? 14:28?
I didn't even catch it. I was hoping you catch it.
Chat, what did it say? What verse? Matthew 14:28? That's what I thought it said. Chat, what did it say?
Are you asking me?
Oh, he said, no, I'm asking chat. He said
Oh, okay.
14:23. Is that what it was? Bro, I don't even know. Someone saying 20. I don't even know what verse it was. But what's your point, though?
My point is, if Jesus is God, why would he go into the mountains to pray
Oh,
to
yeah,
himself?
because we believe that God is three distinct persons: the Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
So I mean, so the Trinity.
Yes.
Okay, so if that's what you believe, this is why me as a Muslim is not Christian. I believe that there was one creator and everything else in this world was creations. I believe not splitting any power. I do not take anything from Jesus because I believe in Jesus wholeheartedly, but I do not believe Jesus is God.
So why did the Father call him God?
I don't know. Where did it say that at? And here's a thing for me being African American. We've been passed down a Bible, through slavery. And it'd be hard for someone that call themselves my slave master to give me something for me to believe in. And I don't know how old you are because you look like a very young man, but I'm 50 something. And I don't know if you'll ever remember this, but when I was young in the 80s, every Bible hold on for a second. Every Bible had this picture of this blue-eyed Jesus in it. Every Bible. You cannot find a
If you
Bible
was in the
today.
U.S., yeah, not everywhere.
Yeah. So why is that picture not in the Bible today?
Because people don't always depict him that way because he was Middle Eastern.
Exactly.
Jesus was brown.
So no, you're right. You're right, and I'm glad you said that. So the reason I asked that is to show you how the Bible has been tampered with. It's been translated 36 different times, and it's been
Someone deciding to add in a picture in a Bible doesn't mean it's been tampered with.
Yes. Listen to yourself. Someone added a fake picture of this blue-eyed Jesus when Jesus had skin of brass.
Nobody says those pictures in the Bible are infallible
Oh
or
my
the word
God!
of God.
Don't play that role, brother.
They don't. Who says the pictures in the Bible are infallible?
Man, and you not just the picture all over church walls back in the day. All of them was this blue-eyed Jesus.
If you go to any Orthodox or Apostolic church, it'll be Jesus will be the man who he was painted to be literally in the 500s.
And he would be like skin of brass, right? But that's not what America taught us. America has been so cruel to us and passed us bad information everywhere. So why
Is America the only country you can get a Bible from?
America is what taught me.
Okay, well then go learn. Go get a Greek. Go get a Bible from Greece.
If I was raised in a different country, in a different race, maybe I would feel or think differently. But my reality is here.
So why don't you just get a Bible from Greece?
The original Bible was a Hebrew Bible.
No, that was the Old Testament. The original, actually, the first Bible
So
entirety
that's
was
the
in
original.
Greek.
The Old Testament is a original, right?
No.
Quit playing.
The Bible, the first Bible had both the Old and New Testament together.
Bro, the Torah came out before the rest of the Bible.
Oh my gosh, the Torah was not a part of the Bible until the New Testament came out.
God, okay, bro, do a little more research, and I respect your podcast or whatever this is here, but do a little bit more research, bro. You cannot expect me to accept something that a so-called slave master passed me down and put these.
You're not a Muslim, right?
Yes, I am a Muslim.
You do know Muhammad was a slave master, right?
No, I did not know that.
Oh, you want me to show you?
Hey, here's the question. Did he have indentured servants or were they slaves?
It says slaves. I'll show you. And also, by the way, it's funny. He traded 2 black slaves for 1 regular slave, as he called it. So, let's see. First of all, I'll just show you that he had slaves. There came and pledged allegiance to Allah's apostle on migration. The holy prophet did not know that he was a slave. There then came his master demanding it back. Whereupon Allah's apostle said, "Sell him to me." And he bought him for 2 black slaves and did not afterwards take allegiance until anyone had asked him whether he was a slave. So he bought one man, right? One Middle Eastern man for 2
Where
black
you
men.
getting this information from?
Sahih Muslim 1602. It's in the Hadith.
1602. We'll try to remember that.
So yeah, Muhammad literally thought black slaves were worth less than other colors. So,
well, he's been told by the best. But I'm still.
Oh, so you think black people are worth less than other people?
Oh no, I didn't. Oh hell no.
So then why did Muhammad trade 2 for 1?
I know that's a question you have to ask him. I don't know his train of thought. He never walked. I've never walked his shoes, and he's never walked mine. So here I can say this better than I can say Muslims. Why aren't you Christian? I can say why I am Muslim instead of why I'm not Christian.
But don't you see that he was a slave though, or he was a slave owner? Isn't that
right?
an issue?
But that did. Oh, this is a good thing. I was around Baptists, Methodists, Jehovah's Witnesses, and my last little journey was around Muslims. I was around Muslims for 10 years before I thought about even taking my Shahada, becoming Muslim, not because I judged it by what I seen. I judged it by this brother over here smoking and drinking. I judged it by this brother over here selling drugs to his mother. I judged the religion by the people, and I was wrong.
What about the fact that Muhammad literally owned slaves though? Is that okay or is that not okay?
I already told you no, that's not okay. If that's a true fact, why would I go
why
there?
would you follow a prophet like that then, bro?
Listen, bro. I just tried to explain to you, and you didn't want to hear why I am Muslim. It's not I'm not a Muslim because of the Prophet Muhammad. Peace and blessings be unto him. If you want to be for real about it, the Bible made me Muslim. It was so many contradictions in the Bible.
Name one.
When they said, God said, I am a jealous God. First of all, God is almighty. He has no jealousy nowhere. He's the perfect. If you're perfect, you don't carry jealousy. First of all, let me continue. He said, I am a jealous God. There should have no one before me. And then somewhere else it says, you can't get through the Father unless you go through the Son, Jesus.
Maybe that's because he is God.
No, wait a minute. If he is God, why would you have to distinguish the two?
Because they're multiple persons. God is 3 distinct persons.
If you're multiple persons, then you're not one. They might believe on the same accord, and I can say my brother and I is as one.
Great. So you can't be okay. So you can't be multiple persons and be one.
I didn't say no. I said as one. Me and my brother could believe in the same things and have the same faith, and we would classify each other. We are as one, but we're still 2 different individuals.
So they can be one God and multiple persons. What's the issue?
No, bro. You could try to. After this podcast, try to make sense of it to yourself. That's like.
All right, I'll try. I said I showed Muhammad sold 2 black slaves for 1 Middle Eastern slave, and Brett said he learned from the best. Yeah. Patriotic Z. Allah, the Arabs enslave your shoulders. Allah says blank were made for hell. Uthman burned over 70 Qurans and his sons. Don't you say you memorize the Quran? Say you memorize what is left. It's crazy out here, man. I'm telling you. It's crazy out here, man. Thank you for the super chat, though, mate. Hello. Hello. John glitching. The freak. Hello.
Hey, brother. Thank you so much. I just want to say well done to what you're doing.
I appreciate you hopping on, man. All right, y'all. I think that's about it for the night, though. I'm going to go hop off. Maybe go get something to eat. I appreciate y'all hopping on. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. I will see you guys next time. I'll probably be live tomorrow. Ted E's gifted 5 memberships at the end of the live. Go there. I'll stay live on YouTube for a little bit so y'all can thank him. But I'll be leaving TikTok, though. Appreciate y'all hopping up. God bless. The GOAT, Ted East. I got to stay live, man. I got y'all better thank my boy. If y'all received the membership, y'all better thank my boy, Ted East, man. Always coming in clutch, gifting folks the memberships, man. Hold on. Ugh. Hold my hand, bro. Ugh. All right, guys. I'm going to